For the advanced version of the Reflex demonstration, you're going to build your own Reflex hammer. When you follow the instructions above, you should get something that looks like this. Make sure that you have hook clips attached at the end because that's how you're going to insert your circuit that you made into the spiker box circuit. Take your hook clips and connect one of them to the metal plate behind the ground port and the other behind the black port. Make sure they're hooked on there good. It doesn't matter which one is clipped to which port as long as you have them on the ground and the black connection. To test that the switch is working, hook your subject up and make sure that they're grounded so that we have two complete circuits, and then close the switch, and if everything is working correctly, you should get a signal on your screen every time the switch is closed. When you think you're all set up, make sure that you're getting a good EMG signal by having your subject extend their leg. Looks like we're ready, so now we're going to elicit some reflexes with a time mark from our switch so that we can measure between when the tendon tap occurred and when we got EMG. Locate the patellar tendon on your subject and then use the side of the reflex hammer with the switch in it to tap that tendon and elicit a reflex. Now, so that we can measure the time between muscle spindle activation and EMG, we're going to make a recording of our signal and then elicit some more reflexes. When you've gotten a couple good ones, you can stop the recording. Now we're going to go in and measure the time between the closing of our switch and our EMG. So go to recordings and go down to the bottom so you have your most recent recording, push play, and then watch your video until you have the reflex that you want to measure. We're going to do this one in the middle here, so you can stop the video and then zoom in. So now we can see that we have the mark from our switch closing and then our EMG. And your switch will always make, when you're really zoomed in, this structure that has a really tall first point and then another vertical one and two depressed peaks. So that's how we know that that's our switch closing. And then here we can see that there's a little bit of a delay and then EMG. So to actually measure that time, place your finger down at the beginning of the switch closing until your blue line pops up, and then drag your finger across the screen to the start of EMG. Your screen should look like this with the time between the switch closing and the EMG in the blue box at the bottom. For this one, we can see it's 23.3 milliseconds. This time tells us how long it takes to go from muscle spindle activation into the spinal cord and back out to the muscle.